Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another video of Road to Pixar. In today's video, we're going to be going over my workflow when I'm doing my character animations. In last week's video, we saw how Edwin does his character animations. So we're going to go ahead and keep that up for this week's video. We're going to go ahead and show how I do my character animations. Other than that, let's go ahead and get right into it.
Yes, very good. Table talk. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and jump right into it, guys. Here is my work in progress character animation. So I'm working on a dance. Before I get into it, let's go ahead and just check it out for now. Take a look. Hitting those funky moves. Nice. Perfect. Yes. Amazing. So let's go ahead and get right into it. In the blocking and blocking plus stage, I'd like to go ahead and get all my poses in here. So if I were to select this, I already have all my key poses. I like to get all my breakdowns. I like to get all my in-betweens. So that way when I get into spline, which is smooth action, Maya has enough information for the poses and the supporting poses that it's going to have as it's playing through. Let's go ahead and take a look at my graph editor. Here you're gonna see that I like to go ahead and start off in step mode. Step mode is basically when you have your graph editor and all your lines are looking linear. So if I were to separate one, you'll see that everything here is looking linear like this. And basically this is a good way to get in your timing and your spacing in your scene. So that way you know if things are looking well, you play it back, you see if things are moving too fast, you go ahead and slow that down. This is a really good way to go ahead and see where your animation is going. One thing I like to do when I go into my blocking stages, I like to go ahead and when I'm going about it, I like to scrub between each frame so that way you can see if there's a big jump going on or there's something that's not moving quite just how you want it. You can go ahead and scrub in with each frame, or you can go ahead and go frame by frame, but that's used more later on. For now, when you're in the blocking stage, or at least what I recommend, is I like to scrub through each frame using this method, so that way you can go ahead and get a good idea of the spacing in the scene. Another thing, as you guys may have noticed, is that I like to have my video reference right here. Now, I don't go off my video reference exactly, but I do use it as a base or a reference to see my spacing, my timing, to see how it is that the body moves compared to the animation. I don't copy it exactly because then there would be no point to the animation. But once you get further along in the animation process, you can go ahead and add your squash and stretch. You could add your cartoony feel, your cartoony techniques to the animation, and go ahead and give it a more animated vibe rather than a lifelike vibe. So here is the latest file that I have for my dance animation. Keep in mind, it is a work in progress. As you can see, he has no arms. I'm gonna go ahead and add those in later, but just so you guys know that this is indeed a work in progress. So let's go ahead and see what I have now. Ooh, look at that. Hitting the moves. So let's go ahead and dissect this a little bit. So when I'm this further along into the animation process, I start isolating body parts so that way I can go ahead and focus on one body part at a time, one rotate at a time, one translate at a time. So with this rig, I can go ahead and start hiding things. So I'm gonna go ahead and hide this, and I'm gonna go ahead and hide the legs. Let's go ahead and cut those off. So now all I have is the waist moving along in space. So this is going to go ahead and give you a good idea on how your animation is moving. So with the waist is very important. You want to go ahead and focus a lot on the waist because the waist basically controls how your spine moves, how your arms move, your neck, head, feet, everything. So getting the waist down is definitely really important. I recommend getting that down first. One thing that I do use is the editable motion trail. Very important. So you can go at it one step at a time, one frame at a time. You want to go ahead and get those nice curves in there. So one cool thing about the editable motion trail, you can go ahead and see how your animation is looking. You can go ahead and fix it on the fly. So if there's something that's not looking quite right, you can go ahead and just go at it from there and fix it right up. So just for example, on the fly, I see that this arc is not looking too good. So I just go ahead and fix it up really quick. And all of a sudden your animation is looking a little bit better than what it was before. But you just gotta have to keep on going at it. The great thing about this is that you can go ahead and edit it and it does apply as you go through your animation. Once I go ahead and I feel confident with my waist, I start focusing on the legs. So once I have the legs down, I can go ahead and start going in there, making sure everything's looking good, making sure my feet are well planted. One common thing that happens is that your feet start to slide. You can go ahead and fix that in the graph editor, very important. It's an easy fix, but it's just something to look out for. Once I'm pretty confident with everything else, I just go ahead and add in the spine. And I start going into my overlap, my follow through and everything, making sure I'm not hitting any walls. And I start going through the animation that way. Looking at the graph editor now, you can see it's not as clean as it was before, where in my blocking I had everything set onto one frame. Now when you're further along in the process, you're gonna go ahead and notice that my graph editor isn't as clean as it was before, because you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna have to start getting your hands dirty. Start going into the graph editor, start moving some frames around. At first, you're not gonna be really comfortable doing that, but that's perfectly fine. I'm still getting used to that, but it's all necessary to getting a much cleaner animation. You start going in here, you start deleting stuff that you don't need anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and put that back in there because obviously that is for a reason. I like to divide my timeline editor into seconds, so you could divide it into every 20 frames, every 30 frames, whichever one you're comfortable with, and just go at it that way. So just focus on one part. Try to get that one part in looking just right within that designated time. Once you feel confident with it, you go ahead and move on to the next chunk and just go at it from there as you get on through the animation until eventually you make it all the way to the end and you're feeling confident with how the animation is looking. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Comment down below what you guys want to see next. Comment if you saw anything that you found interesting, if you guys learned anything new. Go ahead and let us know. Do you guys do things differently? Put that down in the comments down below. We want to go ahead and hear what you guys do and what you guys have to say. Hit that like button if you guys want to see more content like this. Subscribe if you haven't already. It definitely does go a long way. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.